using the ORS and SRS in a first session with a family. CORC and David Lowe have developed this video to be used in CORC Plus and CYP-IAPT training on the use of measures as clinical tools to enhance real-time feedback from young people and families to maximise the effectiveness and efficiency of treatment. It is not intended to present perfect practice, but rather to stimulate discussion. How might you do it differently or better to fit your practice? The clinical scenario is loosely based on a real clinical example, and the names and all identifying information have all been altered to ensure confidentiality has been protected. The mother and children are not service users, but are played by actors in the video. Copyright is owned by CORC and David Lowe jointly, who both give permission for the video to be used in non-commercial training and CPD events. In this clip, Adam Lewis, systemic family psychotherapist, is working with a mother and her daughter aged 12 and son aged 7. Adam will use the Outcome Rating Scale, ORS, and Session Rating Scale, SRS, as part of the systemic family therapy. The ORS and SRS are ultra-brief, reliable and valid measures designed to be used as conversational clinical tools that enhance client feedback to inform treatment. In the USA and a growing number of European countries, the ORS and SRS have been designated an evidence-based practice, as the research has demonstrated that their use together improves outcomes while simultaneously decreasing the risk of dropout and deterioration in care. While the focus of this video clip is on systemic family therapy, the aim is to illustrate how the use of the ORS and SRS can be incorporated into family work to ensure everyone is benefiting from treatment and in order to forestall a negative outcome.
Welcome to Ivory House. I'm Adam. I'm a family therapist and I work here, and I've been referred. Beatrice? Who's Beatrice? You're Beatrice. Nice to meet you, Beatrice. Nice to meet you. Beatrice, could I ask you, who have you brought with you today?
My mum and my brother.
Your mum and your brother. Okay. And could I ask you, do I call your mum Mum or Mum by a different name?
You can call her Mum.
I call Mum Mum.
You can call me Emma.
Well, you Mum would like to be called. Is that okay if I call you Emma? It might be a bit weird if I call Mum Mum. Yeah. She's not my mum. But Emma, okay, cool. And your brother, what's your brother's name?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. How old are you, Sebastian?
I'm 7.
You're 7. And how old's your sister?
She's 11.
She's 11. And can I ask how old your mum is?
No, that's a bit rude.
Okay, okay, that's fine. We'll respect your mum for that. Okay. I'm wondering, why are you here? Whose idea was it to come here?
Well, it's my idea to come here. The reason really is because B has just stopped not attending school anymore.
Oh, okay.
And obviously that's become a big, stressful thing in our household, because B needs to obviously be going to school. And we've got the EWO.
Yeah.
Is now involved, and obviously it's getting really serious.
Okay. Have they said they might take you to court or anything?
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah.
Okay. But I see. Can I ask Beatrice? Can I ask you? I see you're in your school uniform today. Have you been to school today, or?
I went for a bit.
You went for a bit. What, beginning bit, or did you walk out of school?
No.
No. Or did you come out of school to come here?
Come out of school to come here.
Okay.
But that's been the first time.
Oh, is it?
In a very, very, very long time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ORS is a measure of functioning and is used to track the client's subjective experience of change. The ORS is for young people aged 13 upwards and adults. There is also a version for younger children aged 6 to 12 called the CORS. At a minimum, you ask the young person to fill out the ORS or CORS about themselves, and you ask the carer to fill out the same measure on how they view the young person is doing. As we do not know the extent of where the distress lies in the family system, it is also useful to ask each member of the family to fill out an ORS or CORS on themselves. This will allow tailoring of treatment to ensure everyone in the family is benefiting and make sure that no one in the family is deteriorating as a result of treatment. The ORS is introduced to clients as early as possible during the beginning of each session. The following is a way of introducing the ORS and the CORS. The ORS is an outcome measure that allows us to track how you're doing, how things are changing or if they are not. It allows us to determine whether the therapy is being helpful, so we can do something different if it's not helping. Usually change takes place sooner rather than later. If we are not seeing any change early on, then we need to talk about how I can modify what I am doing to help make the service more useful to you. If things still don't improve, then I may ask you if we should do something considerably different, including having you see someone else instead of me, or in conjunction with me. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so let me go over the instructions with you. As you can see, it is really short, just 4 items. All you do is think back over the past week and place a hash mark, or X, on each of the 4 lines, with marks to the left indicating things are not going so well in that area of your life, while marks to the right mean things are going pretty well. In the next segment, you will see how Adam introduces and administers the ORS and CORS. To save time and increase collaboration and engagement, Adam trains the family members on how to help him score and plot the ORS and CORS scores. Subsequent administrations of the ORS and CORS with a family will take just a few minutes and become a natural starting place for each session. In this session, Adam is taking his time introducing the measures and is using it as a useful way of eliciting engagement and involvement from everyone in the room from the start.
Okay, I'm just wondering, before we go any further, I sometimes use a tool, a measure, so to speak, of how you feel, how well things are going for you at the moment. And I'm wondering, would you kindly fill one in for me? What the tool does, or what the measure does, it kind of helps me to get an idea of how good or how bad the problem is, but also how it is different for each of you. Okay, and it kind of also gives us a measure, and we can do it session by session, so we can kind of measure progress as well. And if things aren't going very well, we can think, okay, what do we need to do to make sure that things go well? If things are going really well, we think, great, let's continue. And if things go really well, we might even think, well, we don't need to come here anymore. So would that be okay? Does that make sense? Yeah, sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so this is the measure. That's a graph. We'll fill the graph in a little while. But what I like to do first is fill these in. So I've got 2 measures here, 2 separate ones. I've got, how old are you, Beatrice?
11.
You're 11. Okay, so this would fit you because this is for 6 to 12-year-olds. So if I hand you that one, okay, and how old are you?
I'm 7.
You're 7. Okay, so you fit that one too.
Okay.
You have a look at that. And is Mum over 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'll give Mum an adult one. Okay. Okay, you get Emma. Okay. And what I like to do is take a pen, and that one's really cool because you can change the colours on
Yeah.
that one. Would you like a pen? You take the green one, and Emma, you take the colour one. Okay, now what I'd like to do is on the top of the questionnaire, I suppose that what I'd like to do, if you could, on the questionnaire, if I'll just kind of demonstrate with the one for the 6 to 12-year-olds, you can see there's a sad face and a happy face, okay? The sad face kind of means things aren't going very well for me, okay? And the smiley face is about things are going really well for me, okay? And what I'd like to do then is read the question at the top and thinking very specifically about the reasons why you've come here today, tell me about how well you're doing in the 4 different areas. So for you two, it'll be about yourself, your family, your school, and everything else. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. Does that make sense? Does that make sense with your form as well?
So I'm filling this out for me?
Yes,
Or,
if you could fill... Actually,
so this is how
it's a really good question, actually, yeah. If you could fill one out for yourself, for you,
right?
Okay, and then what I'll do, I'll give you a second one, and I'd like you to fill it out on how you think Beatrice is feeling.
Right. Okay.
Would you like to do that for me?
Okay.
And if you could just put a little line or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's put a line. Okay.
Thank you. Would you like me to read the question out?
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that. I was just thinking it might be useful. I can do. Shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, it says on here, how are you doing? How are things doing in your life? Please Please make a mark on the scale to let us know. The closer to the smiley face, the better things are. The closer to the frowny face, things are not so good. Okay. So.
And then this one's how I think B is doing.
Exactly. So if you were filling that on behalf of Beatrice, yeah.
Right.
You've done yours?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, thank you. Right. Would it be okay if I may take a little look at these? That'd be all right, because these will give us some idea of where what we're thinking about. Okay, so this from this mum's. I'll put it like that. Can I take yours? Thank you. I'll put yours there. Okay. There was one thing I forgot to tell you at the beginning, which was these lines are 10 centimetres long. Who's good at maths? Are you good?
Not very.
Were you good at maths? No? No. Could I show you what to do with these? Okay. What we can do is if we get a ruler like this and measure along each line, we can see that each line is 10 centimetres, and what you can do is look to the nearest millimetre what you scored on there. Would you help me do that?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And also we haven't put our names down, so we'll just write the names on as well as we go along. So this one's yours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this one's yours, sorry. That one's yours. Would you like to do yours?
Okay.
Measure it? I can help you if you want.
Okay,
Yeah?
please.
Okay, I'll help you, and I'll ask Beatrice to do hers. Is that okay, Beatrice? And then Mum, perhaps
do
when
mine?
Beatrice has done hers,
Okay.
you can do yours. So, what we need to do,
Right.
Oh, that's roughly.
that's about 10, isn't it?
Yeah, about.
So, where can you see the blue line on there?
It's
It's about 9.4, isn't it?
yeah.
So what we do then, we write 9.4,
Okay. 8.1.
and we go to the next one. Where do you reckon that one is?
Near 9
Do
point
it around the 0 maybe. Yeah, but
2? Yeah, I'd go with that.
Yeah, it might be 3.
Now this one's going to be easy peasy.
Yeah, 10. Well, yeah, probably
Yeah,
over
big 10.
that.
That one's easy. Okay, and this one?
7.1.
8.
8.
So-
Okay.
Right on the end, Emily.
Okay. So
7.9.
Okay. Okay. Do you want me to do mine?
Yeah, we could do one of Mum's. Would you like to do one of yours?
Yeah.
Should we do some more practice then? Would you help us, Beatrice? Yes, we'll do one of Mum's as well. So, Mum's. I think she scribbled that one out, hasn't she? So, where do you think that one is?
I'm not
3.1.
Yeah.
Would you say, Beatrice? Yeah, 3.1.
3.2.
3.2. 3.2. I think you were right. I think you're closer to that. Okay, and this one?
That's right in the middle, so
Yeah, it is 2.5.
2.5.
Did you say, Beatrice? Yeah. And this one? .8, do you reckon?
Yeah.
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 And this one is 23 point.
Oh, that's 5.
That's close, isn't it? 3.2.
3, I think.
3.3. It's kind of in between the two. We'll go
Yeah.
3.3, shall we? Okay. Thank you very much. Now, one of the things we think about in therapy, okay, is that when we do this on a regular basis, you'll get more practiced and it'll be much quicker. What we're looking for is to get the marks closer towards this end, okay, and when they get towards that end we know that we're roughly on the right track, okay. What I'm wondering, if we take this like that, there we go. But what I'm most interested at the moment is looking at these scores, is there's quite a bit of difference.
The 4 lines on ORS and CORS are called visual analogue scales. They are each 10 centimetres in length. Scoring is very easily done with a ruler to give you 4 subscores. The 4 subscores are then added up for a total score to plot on a graph to help track progress. There are different cut-off scores for different age groups. In this next part of the clip, notice how Adam uses the ORS and SRS as clinical conversational tools, incorporating circular and reflexive questioning into systemic first session. Note how Adam uses the ORS and CORS as part of the therapy session for him and the family. It is not an additional administrative task taking away from the therapy session. As the family have taken the time to fill out the measures, he explores with them the meaning the scores have for each of them. In subsequent sessions, it is likely that they will spend no more than 5 minutes using the measures as a way of tracking progress collaboratively and a natural lead into what will be discussed.
Beatrice, I was wondering if you could help me out a little bit here. I was wondering, why do you think your mum marked you in the way that marked kind of how she feels that you might be doing in the way that she has?
Because I don't go to school.
Because you don't go to school. Okay. And does mum find that difficult?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can see mum nodding away there, so I'm assuming you're agreeing with Beatrice. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Mum, can I ask you a similar question about Beatrice? Why? I noticed that Beatrice has marked herself higher than how you marked her, and I was wondering what understanding do you have of Beatrice that may lead her to give herself a different score?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm really worried because she's not in school, and I'm really worried about how that's having an impact on her, socialising and her education, and just how this is, impacting on her in general. But I don't know what that means. It must, I guess she likes being at home.
She likes being at home. Can you say a bit more about that?
I don't know, am I right in that? I just, maybe, I don't know, when we've been through all of this, what is it about school that, why don't you want to go? I'm not quite sure because I don't think there's anything particularly about school that is making it difficult for her to go. There's no issues of bullying, or there's, she seems to be getting on okay with her work. So and there were no didn't seem to be any friendship difficulties. So I just can't, there must be, I can't figure out why she's not going.
Okay. Beatrice, I've got a sense that Mum was I think I'll be right in assuming Mum was struggling to identify reasons why you're not going to school. And I was wondering, does it feel okay for you to help Mum out a little bit, to explain why you don't go to school?
Because I'm scared because she always cries.
She cries?
Yes.
Okay.
And she drinks a lot.
She drinks? Okay. Drinks alcohol or not? Drinks alcohol? Yeah. Okay. And what does that feel like for you, to see Mum crying and drinking alcohol?
Don't like it.
You don't like it? What don't you like about it?
I don't like to see my mum cry.
You don't like to see your Mum cry? What does it mean to you when you see Mum crying?
It makes me feel sad.
It makes you feel sad. Oh dear. Okay. Okay. And Sebastian, do you see Mum sad and crying, and perhaps do you see your
Yeah.
sister cry as well?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, quite sad too.
Wow. What do you think it means to your sister to see Mum crying?
Well, quite sad. Quite sad. Yeah.
I see. I just want to check something out with your sister, if that's okay. Is that okay, Beatrice? Working from experience, I've met other young people who really care for their parents, and sometimes children see their parents kind of going through a difficult time and they worry for them, and sometimes that worry and that care leads them to feel the need to stay at home to look after their parents, or mums and dads. Would I be right in guessing that might be similar for yourself? You would, yeah. And could that explain why you don't go to school? Yeah. Did your mum know that?
I don't think so.
She didn't know that. Okay. No. Okay. How do you think it makes Mum feel now that she's heard you say that?
I'm not sure. Maybe she'll stop.
Maybe she'll stop. Is that what you like? Stop drinking and stop crying? Is that what you'd like for her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But part of the reason why I do feel so sad is because you're not going to school B. And if you did go to school, it puts so much stress on the family, and I feel stressed all the time because she's not going, and I am worried about her future. I'm worried about the EWO, and
Yeah.
just puts a lot of pressure.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? It really does. Yeah. So in coming here today, I'm getting a sense that you would like Beatrice to go to school, and Beatrice would like you to stop drinking and crying.
I don't think I drink that much.
You don't?
But you don't like it.
No. And I'm wondering, I'm just wondering what would be a useful conversation to have or a useful area to talk more about, which would help you achieve those goals?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Mum, do you have any?
We went to school today for a little bit.
So we could think about what helped you to get to school today, yeah, and what that meant for Mum. Would that be useful? Yeah, should we do that and start thinking about what works and what worked today especially? Yeah, okay, we can do that then.
Okay.
Researchers have repeatedly found that the therapeutic alliance is one of the best predictors of outcome. Unfortunately, the research also demonstrates that clinicians, even those who ask for verbal feedback, are poor at gauging their clients' experience of the alliance. The Session Rating Scale, or SRS, is a measure of the therapeutic alliance. It is used with young people aged 13 upwards and adults. There is also a Child Session Rating Scale, or CSRS, for young people aged 6 to 12. The SRS helps the clinician to identify and deal with ruptures within the therapeutic alliance he or she may have with any one family member. The SRS and CSRS also help elicit real-time negative feedback that will help the clinician tailor therapy to better fit the family. Making time at the end of the session to use the SRS as a conversational clinical tool makes it more likely the family will return, will stay engaged, and therefore be more likely to achieve a clinically significant change. At about 5 minutes before the session ends, the clients are asked to fill out the SRS and CSRS. For the first couple of times you administer the SRS and CSRS, you may say something like this. Okay, we need to end in a couple of minutes, but before we do, I would be grateful if you would take a minute to fill out this other form, which asks your opinion about our work together today. The ultimate purpose of using these forms is to make every possible effort to make our work together beneficial. There might be some small things that you think you might be able to live with or are not important. Your feedback on even those small things is critical to me, as it can be the small things that make the difference to ensure what I am doing is benefiting you. I am not looking for perfect scores, as I know I'm not perfect. In filling this out, I would like you to consider anything that feels missing, or if I said something that did not sit right or left you feeling blamed. You would be doing me the best favour if you consider anything like that and let me know. Can you please help me out? Okay, here is one for each of you. Remember, please feel free to give your honest opinion when filling this out. Okay? In this final segment, you will see Adam administer the SRS and CSRS to the family. Again, as it is their first time, he takes his time to go through their scores and understand their response and feedback, so he knows what he needs to do to tailor his approach in subsequent sessions.
Time. Okay, we've been here for almost an hour now, and I was wondering how you felt the last hour has been. And to help me do that, I was going to ask you, or I'd like to ask you, or will ask you, whether you would fill in another questionnaire, slightly different, but you have to do the same in terms of where you put the mark and how we measure. Would that be okay? Would that be all right? Okay. What I hope to get from this questionnaire is, again, I'm really looking for your honest feedback. Honesty is really important for me, okay? Because I want to know whether I've been doing things good, or whether I've been doing something which could be better, or whether I've been completely off the mark and need to completely do something completely different. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And we even have one here with, this one's coloured, is even better. So I'll ask Mummy to fill this one in. Emma. Beatrice, would you fill that one in? And this one's for you, Sebastian. Do you want to take the same pens, different pens?
Okay.
And would you write your name on the top as well? That'd be really helpful. There you go. You take the colourful pen.
Okay.
Oh, I'll put it on the table.
And would you like me to read the question
Yes.
out? So on this questionnaire we have 3 areas, okay? The first one is Did you feel heard, or was I listening to you? How important was it the kind of the subject and the issues that we talked about? How important were they? A little bit about how I asked questions. Were they useful? Were they not useful? And generally, your overall feeling of how today went. Okay. And the question is, how was our time together today? Please put a mark on the lines below to let us know how you feel.
Okay.
And again,
Listen.
we have...
This is listening. Yeah.
Gosh, you filled yours in.
You've done it.
Very good.
Very quick.
How important.
So this is what we did and talked about was not really that important to me, and what we did and talked about was important to you at this end.
There we go.
I did not like what we did today. I like what we did today. And I wish we could do something different. Oh, I hope we do the same kind of things next time.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Right. Again, what we can do, we can measure these. Again, because again the lines are 10 centimetres. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
You know, we've got the ruler down there.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
You know what to do now. Do you need my help
Which one's
now
yours?
this time? You still need my help? Are you
Yes.
sure? Okay.
Shall I write my name on the top?
Yes, if you could, that would be great.
No, just up here.
Anywhere would be fine. Anywhere.
Okay.
And what I can do is I can fill out the date later. That's no problem. Okay. So where's your mark on that line, do you reckon?
That's between
8.7.
9 and 10, so probably it's 9.5.
5. Oh, yeah, I'd say. Yeah. 9. Do you want to write 9.5?
Okay. Yeah.
And
That's 9.8.
9.
Yeah, I would say 9 because
9.
it's like there. So
Okay.
I'd say 9.1.
9.1. Yeah. You're good at this, aren't you? Fantastic. Go on then.
And that's roughly 9.6.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Spot on. And this one is a really easy one.
10 or 9.9.
Really? I just put 10.
There you go.
10. There we go. We don't need a ruler for that one, do we? Okay. Okay, I want to be a little bit well organised here. Just put this to one side. Okay. Wow. I can see, just by looking at these, that it's been really useful talking by the way that we did today. Some feedback for me I'd find really helpful. I wonder if you could advise me, what was it that we did today between us that felt really good?
Do you think it was just having somebody outside to talk with us about what's going on? Yeah, and somebody to listen to us and help us, because I think we've been feeling very stuck.
Okay, yeah,
I've been feeling really stuck.
yeah. I can imagine, yeah.
And it kind of helped a bit. Do you think, Bea?
Yeah.
It helped.
Have you been feeling a bit stuck?
Yeah. And how about for yourself? Or,
Well, Yeah, it's going well.
Perhaps your mum and your sister could help you out a little bit. What? It's okay if I ask them a question on your behalf.
Yeah, sure.
Is that all right? What do you think went well for Sebastian today? What do you think? How he experienced? Why he experienced it perhaps so well?
I think just all of us being calm and calmly talking about things.
So keeping it calm really helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there
Listening.
wasn't. Yeah. And there wasn't. It can be quite stressy at home, can't it? Sometimes because, well, we've just been so stressed and tense, and so just having that calmness, I think, today, talking things through.
That's really helpful for me to think about the next session. So to try and keep it as calm, really. Yeah. There might be times in subsequent sessions where it doesn't feel so calm. That might be because of some of the things that we end up talking about. But I think that's okay too. And but if you could let me know, that'd be really helpful. And sometimes it might get a little bit stressful, but it might be stressful in a useful way. But if you could let me know, that would be great. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose there's one tiny little more question, which is, and perhaps I'm being really kind of looking for detail here, but sometimes I like to do things as best as I can possibly do, and there's still a little bit off, and I'm wondering if it was to be all tens, what would it be like? What would I be doing, perhaps, or what would it be like if it was a 10? If it was straight tens all the way down.
Do you have any ideas, Abby?
See us more often.
Sorry?
See us more often.
See you more often? Okay, yeah.
B?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I marked you pretty high.
Sorry?
I marked you
You
pretty
did. Are you
Talk
almost 10?
talk
did.
about things.
Talk about things.
Yeah.
What sort of things do you think we'd need to talk about for future sessions that will make it you're worthwhile coming here?
Well, stuff that, well, I couldn't really name them, but just, yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering, I think that's a really good question that you had there about thinking that things you could talk about, and I'm wondering between now and our next session whether between you could sit down and think about what would be useful to talk about next time. Would you do that?
Okay.
I have some ideas myself, but I'm going to keep those because I'd like to hear what you guys have to say as well.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll let you go home now.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, cheers.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye.
Pause for a minute to reflect on the following questions.